In the center of the wheel, you'll see this cap that covers all the lug nuts with a 22mm socket. Let's remove all these caps that hold onto the lug nuts. Now with the 22mm socket as well, go ahead and take off all 8 of your lug nuts, and then we'll take the wheel off. At the top of the knuckle right here, you'll see where the 10mm bolt attaches this bracket for the brake line. I'm gonna get the ABS wire out of here just so I can freely move this bracket around, squeeze on the top and on the bottom at the same time. And that should allow you to pop this out. There we go. Next, from the back side, you have 2 18mm bolts, which are also your slider pins. Remove both of those. Leave this one in for now. Take the top one out. Take the caliper, flip it up on top of the upper control arm. Now we can remove the pads. If you need a pry bar to do this, go ahead and use that. Sometimes they get stuck. And now with a 21mm socket, let's remove these 2 bolts that hold the bracket onto the knuckle. Leave this one in a little bit. Take the bracket off. Now with our new caliper, let's separate the caliper from the bracket. 18mm socket, just like on the original. Take this off, take the slider pins / caliper bolts, and just set those aside temporarily. Take your bracket, add some brake grease, just a thin layer. This is going to make sure that no rust builds up, or minimal, I guess, rust builds up between the anti-rattle clip and the bracket. You don't want this area to swell up. It'll cause braking issues down the road. And then take the appropriate side anti-rattle clip and press it on. They are different. They both have a wider side and a narrower side, so you just have to make sure you get the one that fits, and then you want to do the same to the other side, of course. Okay, take this and just press it on, make sure it's seated all the way. There you go. Now I'm going to put some grease inside of the caliper slider boots here, and I can't put much grease on the slider pins, which is why I'm putting it in here, because if you put it on the slider pins, it's going to get washed off or scraped off as you try to put the slider in through the caliper into the boot. So that's why I'm putting a little bit in here, and then we'll coat the slider pins in grease at the end. And of course you want to do the same to both sides. Now you don't want to put too much, I just want to put enough so I can fill up these 2 little accordion pieces here. That'll basically just be a reserve of grease for the slider pins. At this point, this is ready to go back onto the vehicle. Before I do that though, since I'm handling grease right now, I'm just going to grease up the caliper right here. That way I don't have to do it later. I like to put grease on the ears of the caliper here. This will help the pads operate quietly and smoothly. Just a thin layer to outer ears and the middle part, and then over here, of course. I also like to apply some, for the same reason, to the outer rings of the pistons of the caliper here. Again, a thin layer will go a long way. Okay, set this aside. Let's install the bracket. Grab your bracket, line up the bolt holes, and start in the bolts. That way you can at least let go after you start in the first one. Okay, let's thread them on. Let's snug them up and then torque them to 221 foot-pounds. I put some red thread locker on these threads. If you're gonna put anything, put thread locker, not grease or anti-seize. And that's 2. Grab your pads and slide them onto the caliper bracket. Make sure that they seat themselves properly, just like this. You should not need a lot of force to put them on. If you need a lot of force, it means the anti-rattle clips are not sitting flush. Now I'm going to take my caliper, slide it over the pads, over the bracket, position it, make sure the boots are not getting pinched or crushed. I greased up the slider pins, and I'm going to go ahead and push those in all the way. Torque these to 80 foot-pounds. With a collection bucket underneath, I'm going to remove this banjo bolt here with an 11mm socket. I'm going to let this all drain out the old caliper. Watch out because it's got a lot of fluid in it. At this point you want to inspect your hose to make sure that none of the crush washers, the old ones, are left on the hose. You want to take them off if they are on the hose. Let's wipe off this debris here to make sure we have a nice clean surface for the new crush washers. Then we'll get this installed. Take a rag and just wipe off any debris that might be here. Take the new banjo bolt out and make sure you save the 2 washers. Obviously you want to use these, not the old ones. Never use these crush washers. One stayed on there, that's perfect. The other one is on my banjo bolt. So now I'm going to take the hose, stick the bolt with the washer through it, and then put the other washer on, or just leave it on there like I did, and basically sandwich the hose in between the 2 washers and thread it on. Then we'll bottom it out and snug it. What you're looking for when you snug this is to just crush those copper washers in there. So take your 10mm wrench. This is a 10, not an 11 anymore. And I like to go about half a turn at most. That should do it usually. And let's clean up the mess. It's important to clean up after you're done doing this because you want to make sure that you have no leaks. And the only way to make sure is if you clean up the spillage that occurred when transferring the hose. At this point, if you follow this up, you'll see the bleeder screw right there. So take the little boot off, and with a 10mm wrench, open this up. We'll let gravity do its thing and bleed the fluid, or pull the fluid out and push the air out so that we have no more air in the system here. Of course, we'll still need to do a full manual brake bleed at the end, which consists of having someone in the vehicle pumping the brake pedal. And then after you have double checked your master cylinder to make sure it's full, have them hold pressure on the brake pedal and open up the bleeder screw. Fluid and potentially air will come out. Once the pedal has reached the floor, close the bleeder screw, pump up the brakes again, and hold pressure, open it up, and repeat the process until you have no more air coming out of here. Periodically, every 3 to 4 pumps, I would suggest checking the master cylinder to make sure it stays full. You don't want to suck air into the system, then you'll have a bigger nightmare. At this point, I'm just going to wait for the gravity bleed, and after that, I'll continue with my full manual brake bleed. Okay, we have fresh fluid coming out of here, so let's close up the bleeder screw, and then we'll perform the manual brake bleed. Snug this up, go ahead and do your manual brake bleed, and once you're done with that, cap this off, check your master cylinder one more time, pump up your brakes, let's put the wheel on, and you can go for a road test. Put this back onto the knuckle, start in the bolt. Just going to secure this wire like this. Make sure it's nice and tight and cut off the excess. Let's get the wheel back on. Start on all of your lug nuts, bottom them out, and then torque them to 140 foot-pounds. Last but not least, don't forget about the cap that covers up your lug nuts. Slide this on, and it's best to thread this on by hand because these plastic caps can break and strip out easily. So just make them snug enough to hold this in place. You don't have to go crazy tight on these. Okay, take it for a road test.